Hello, this is Teylor Hill along with Travis Peter and Whitney Gall, and this is our ergonomic case study on the Bhopal disaster.
The tragedy that was the disaster of Bhopal occurred in the early morning of December 3, 1984. A gas leak at Union Carbide India Ltd. Exposed over 500,000 residents of central India to MIC methyl isocyanate gas. Estimated number of immediate deaths ranges from 4,000 to 10,000 depending on your source, although there was no official tally recorded. Blame for the tragedy has been placed on a faulty and untested industrial design compounded by cheap construction and cutbacks on safety measures. Since its opening, the operating and maintenance staff had deteriorated in training and numbers. Previous gas leaks, one of which resulted in death, gave credence to these insufficiencies. The company reported the leak as sabotage by an employee. However, the chemical plant operator stated that it was the result of contaminated water making its way into a tank containing MIC due to a height difference in a malfunctioning valve. This caused a reaction on a scale that the system was unable to handle. Due to the alarm being limited to the building, the surrounding populace was caught unaware of the danger when the leak occurred. Long-term side effects for survivors can include lung, eye, and kidney problems.
Some of the biggest factors of the accident were violations in safety and process design. The plant had manually muted the gas leak warning alarm to only be heard inside the plant. The reduction of the loudness and intensity of the sound violated the principle of signal detection. By creating a signal that was long, loud, and piercing and extending to the surrounding communities, civilians in the cities may have had more reaction time, allowing greater probability of escaping the gas and perhaps even saving some lives. Another example was the immense lack of worker training. Almost 70% of workers were untrained in safety precautions. This lack of proper safety training caused a hindrance in safe behavior practices. If workers were properly trained to notice certain signals, they may have reacted faster to the leakage. The accident might not have even occurred in the first place. Because of an accident in 1982, the refrigeration system was shut down and the process was redesigned to operate without it. The system, however, was not designed to be prepared for unexpected occurrences. On the night of the 1984 disaster, the temperature rose, worsening the situation. A process design violation occurred with the new design. It was created as a prevention design in which it was made difficult to commit an error, but with such vast possible consequences, the design should have been made one of exclusion, making it impossible to commit errors. Instead of redesigning the entire system, the initial issue with the ceramic seal should have been addressed. Perhaps a redesign of the seal or maybe even a reinforcement.
Another major factor contributing to the Bhopal gas leak disaster was the poor design of process technology. After the plant shut down the MIC refrigeration unit, the storage temperature varied from 15 to 40 degrees Celsius. The control room MIC temperature gauge was not scaled for operation above 25 degrees Celsius, so it could not be trusted as it normally read above scale without refrigeration. The temperature gauge violated one of the basic design principles for a quantitative visual display, which was designing a display with the appropriate scale range for its function. Since the gauge was constantly maxed out, the control room operators had no idea of the actual temperature in the tank and were unaware of the danger until it was too late. A potential way to redesign the temperature gauge would have been to increase the scaling of the gauge, allowing it to measure temperatures outside of normal operation. A similar issue occurred with the control room pressure gauge. When the MIC tank became contaminated, a runaway thermal reaction occurred, causing pressure to increase in the tank. However, the pressure gauge continued to read a normal pressure for a sealed tank. The unreliability of the pressure gauge allowed the tank contamination to go unnoticed for a long time, and by the time the contamination was discovered, it was too late to contain the 40 tons of MIC gas. A potential way to remedy this design flaw would have been to redesign the gauge to be more reliable and to perform a periodic functionality check. By designing the system components to function outside of normal operating measures and verifying that all components worked properly, the operators may have been sufficiently warned of the contamination before it got out of control. Unreliable technology and lack of safety precautions were human factors that, when exacerbated by a poor process redesign, led to the unexpected and disastrous event in December of 1984. Poorly designed alarms and gauges did not warn the operators of the MIC contamination, lack of safety training for workers did not help them identify and react to the contamination problem, and an ill-advised system redesign did not account for unexpected occurrences in the process. By implementing several ergonomic principles, the impact of the Bhopal gas leak may have been reduced or even avoided, potentially saving thousands of lives. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed it.